Hello and welcome back to the channel, and today is Wednesday, our follow-up video on the making of this guy. This is the blade guard for a very large commercial bandsaw, and anybody who works in a big steel shop or places that have these products, you know what these are and you know what they cost. So we re-engineered this, reverse engineered it for the one customer, and I've been supplying them exclusively since we reverse engineered this, as they are a failure point, a weak point. You get bad operators, you have accidents, things happen, and these get damaged pretty badly. So, like I said, we had to reverse engineer this completely and come up with this weird little mount thing, and then a way to hold it, which is where the pin jaws came in. And so many of you purchased some pin jaws. Thank you very much. I very much appreciate the purchases. And you know what? Because of that, I am actually able to turn up the heat. It's been a very rough year, and the costs have just eaten me alive, but with your purchases, I can actually turn up the thermostat. So let's go do that. All right, 55 just is not warm enough. Let's bump it up to 60. I think we can afford that. Perfect. So again, thank you for your purchases of the pin jaws or the other items on my website that you may have bought. I know we sold another one of the Go Stops, the limited edition Go Stops. If you're interested in them, they are a great product. Very much appreciate working with Rich on this to get these limited edition Topper Machine ones. So check them out. I'm selling them for the same price he does on his site, so you just get them with my engraving on it. So pretty cool that way. And if you are a pin jaw owner and you have pictures, you can send me some pictures or some videos. I'd love to see what you're doing with them. I've done some pretty neat stuff with mine. I've had others send me a few different pictures of amazing ways that you can hold work with them things. So send me some pictures. I'd very much appreciate it. Okay, so with all of our Wednesday follow-up videos, I addressed the questions and comments, and there weren't a whole lot of questions or comments on this video that really need a lot of addressing. There were just some basic questions, all really good questions. So let's dive into them. Let's see here. A couple of non-machinist questions. Is the vibration when the cutting with the end mill caused by the laser hardened edge? And how would you cut those pieces if you did not have access to laser or water jet? So with a laser, you're going to have some heat affected zone. And what I've discovered over the years is that heat affected zone from laser cutting is significantly worse than if it's plasma cut or torch cut. It's such a fine focused cut, and that heat is right there. It actually hardens the material right at the cut. Whereas plasma cutting, you got a little bit bigger heat affected zone, so it does dissipate it out, so it doesn't harden it as bad. And torch cutting, the whole thing's hot, so it just kind of heats up the whole thing and it cools off, and you don't really get a bad heat affected zone. Not as bad as you would with laser. So that could be what's causing what you were seeing for asking about vibration. The other thing is the machine is old. It's tired. It needs bearings. I really need to do spindle bearings, and that's something I do intend to do here at some point this winter. So getting that upgraded with new bearings is a must for me, and that probably will cure a lot of the vibrations that you're hearing. All in all, though, the machine's very tight. And then how would you cut those pieces if you did not have access to a laser or water jet? It would be a combination of milling it out and bandsaw and. It would have been a lengthy process, and that would make this part almost cost as much as the OEM. So by having the availability to have them cut outside with the CNC laser or CNC water jet really cuts the cost down for the customer, for the end user. So that is why we do it that way. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't be able to compete on those. Would you share the brand of end mill used? So those were actually some cheap carbide end mills that I found on eBay. and I've been very pleased with them. They are very inexpensive, so check out eBay. They've got some good ones. And I've done some 𝐾𝐨𝐲𝐿s, just sinking them and cutting 𝐾𝐨𝐲𝐿s, and they are tight on tolerance. They're good end mills. I've been very happy with them. And for the cost, they're not a whole lot more money than the high-speed steel, so realistically, just go to the carbide if you can. In the terms of spare cutters and tools, what's your philosophy? I'm not talking about insert units, but the standard fluted end mills and other tools. How many backups of each you carry, for example? He says, you shouldn't worry about mishaps unless it's extremely costly. Otherwise, great video, and I'm in no position to comment about the article you made because I've got no clue what the specific machine you referred to. Keep the great videos coming. All right. So, inventory. As far as cutters go, I keep a lot on hand. Mostly because my region has no sources like this. So we have to order everything in. There is nothing left. There are no, tool stores. There are no, manufacturers that have stuff on hand. There's nothing left. So I keep a lot of stuff on hand. A few years ago, I got a deal on a pile of high-speed steel, all regrinds from an estate, and I keep those on hand and use those. In fact, the one that's in the mill right now is a regrind. That is, it was a 5/8 end mill, and it was reground down to 609. And believe it or not, I had a job that I finished this morning for a guy that needed a 609 counterbore. So that worked out perfect. So these regrinds are a nice thing to have on hand because you get into odd stuff once in a while, and that works great. But otherwise, I keep a lot of stuff on hand just because you don't know what's coming in the door. And I have to order it in, so it takes forever to get stuff here. It's kind of a crappy situation. Okay, next question here. I have a quick, simple question for you. When using those edge finders, do you register 0 when it just kicks, or do you go to the kick and back out until it looks straight? I've always set 0 at the point it kicks out, but I saw another YouTuber set it where it looks like it ran true. Okay, I do this a lot differently than most people, and what I found is this is more accurate. At least for me, it's more accurate. I come in with my edge finder until it kicks out, and I look at the digital readout, and then I back off and see where it runs true again, and then I come back in. And I try to catch it just as it kicks out, and sometimes there'll be about 4/6 difference from where I stopped it the first time to where I come in again. So I always, it is where it kicks out, because that little bit of friction in there is what's pulling it away. So if it's touching, it's kicking out. And that's roughly where you want to be. So that's what I have always done. I played with this a long time ago when I was just getting into machining and really kind of got a feel for that stuff. It's like I want to find the best, best accuracy. And that was back in the days when I was learning this. So you really want to learn the right way and the best way to do things. And so that's what I did. And it seems to work well. So if you understand that, bring it in till it kicks out. You can 0 your readout or, whatever. Back it out until it runs true again. And then come back into that point and watch it closer and bring it in real slow until it kicks out again. And a lot of times you'll be before the point you actually zeroed or stopped at. So that's how I do it. So we got a comment here. If you really want to push the product, you should consider making a best of pin jaws video using clips from your existing job videos and then link it to your homepage. So again, I asked in the beginning of this video to send me pictures, send me videos. I really want to see what you're doing with these pin jaws. They are an amazing product. I've had a lot of great feedback on it. We even pitched it to a very large company that is unfortunately having some financial problems, so they weren't able to get in on it at this point, but it may be something they'll pick up later on. So it's a great product. Everybody loves it that has them. So if you're interested, I do have plenty on hand, 4, 6, and 8 inch, and we'll be making more as the need arises. So right now I think I have like 20 sets, 23 sets left of 6-inch, and once I get down to 10 sets, I'll get going on another batch of 30. So if you're interested, check them out, and send me pictures, send me videos. I really want to see what you're doing with these things, and I greatly appreciate it. So again, whatever you can do to help me out with this, I really got to, keep pushing this stuff, because this is what's keeping the lights on here and keeping the heat turned up. So hopefully this afternoon I'll be able to take the jacket off. So again, thanks for watching the main video and for watching the follow-up video. I hope I answered the questions in the comments. Like I said, there was not a lot of questions, but they were good questions. Really, actually good questions. So, check out my other videos. There's a lot of good stuff, and we got a lot of stuff I'm working on right now coming up. We got the roof and the siding on the lean-to. That video is coming up on the sawmill shed, and we are going to be sawing for the last time this year. Getting the last of the boards done for the rafters that need to be dry over winter, so we can build the rafters for the rest of the shed in the spring. And unfortunately, I had to do it by myself. Carl's just too busy. So I did it all by myself. So that'll be an interesting video. I just about died from 15-foot boards and carrying it all, and I'm out of shape. It was interesting. So stay tuned. Cool stuff coming. And another thing we're going to be working on coming up, I know I've got to get going on Squatch's project, but we've also got a tour of a bunch of antique tractors coming up that I'm hoping one of them winds up in Squatch's collection. So, but we'll be doing mag particle testing on his eccentric shaft and his pulleys, or his flywheels, soon here. So stay tuned. A lot of cool stuff coming. Thanks for watching. Until next time, get out in your shop and get it done right the first time.